get a word. Not on the flight to Coruscant, not when Order 66 came down, and not when we marched into the Jedi Temple. Not a word.
So now we're in Operation Nutfall. I mean Operation Nightfall, but it might as well be Operation Nutfall, because the people we're killing are clearly nuts, because they didn't see this huge plot coming right in front of them. All the signs are there, but the Jedi are too stupid to realize any of it. And they're also protected by these temple soldiers as well, too. I don't know who these temple soldiers are. They seem to be some sort of soldier or something like that. And we don't know where they were before. Maybe there's people that just wanted to genuinely help the Jedi. So they could protect the Jedi against this huge act of genocide we're committing against the Jedi, this group of people in Star Wars. And these Jedi are supposed to be some of the most well-trained people in the galaxy with special inhuman powers that nothing else is supposed to have other than the Jedi. But for some reason, us clones can easily outrun them. They clearly have way more than us. We only have like 30-something troopers. I'm pretty sure there's way more Jedi than that at the Jedi Temple. And these Jedi should be able to kill off our 30-something troopers, and the number's constantly decreasing all the time. They should be able to kill us off easily like we're nothing. But we can't, because the Jedi must be, pretty stupid. Must be pretty dumb. And maybe if they're this dumb, maybe they deserve to get killed off. They deserve to be an endangered species. Like the dodo bird or something like that. Look, they even have like dual-bladed lightsabers. I mean, she had like freaking Darth Maul lightsabers. I wonder who came first, Darth Maul or the Jedi. Maybe the Jedi got their idea for having a dual-bladed lightsaber from Darth Maul. So our first objective here is to take over this command post, because we keep getting bombarded by these Temple's troopers. I mean, we're taking a stand against these Temple troopers, these Temple soldier things. Maybe there's some other kind, some other kind of evil force or some other force that exists. We don't really hear much about these Temple soldiers and anything else. That's saying a lot, 'cause there's tons of expanded universe lore and things like that in Star Wars. And this level is by far the level that truly made me want the PS2 version of this game. I remember first watching a Let's Play of this game and I still only had knowledge of the PSP version. And then I came to this thing realizing, you mean the other version of this game has an actual story mode? And there's all this stuff in it? You got me sold. I want this version of the game, not the crappy PSP version that has stuff. This is completely absent in the PSP version. This is a good example as to why the PSP version sucks, and this version is, by all means, a lot better. The PSP version almost destroyed my PSP once. Remember when I got it for Christmas back in 2008? It froze at the end of one of the levels. The only way I could possibly get out of that was by taking the battery out of my PSP or waiting for its battery to die. But I didn't want to take the battery out, because it says in the instruction book that you shouldn't remove batteries while it's being used. So I just left it there and let its battery die. Then I removed it and put the battery back in. Those were the good old days. That's something a lot of devices don't let you do much anymore. There's remove batteries from them and put them back in like that. None of my phones allow me to do that. I have a few Samsung phones now, a few modern Samsung phones, and they don't allow for that. So for some reason, these Jedi want to destroy their own history. They want their history to be removed, their heritage to be gone. So they're going to destroy the books that apparently we need. Apparently we need the books in the library so we could somehow, help us kill the Jedi. Maybe there's some sort of maybe it's like some sort of database telling us who all the Jedi are and where they are right now, so we can know how to kill all of them or something like that. Maybe that's why these Jedi are so bent. Why else would Jedi be so bent on destroying their own heritage, their own history books? So, those temple guards that we're fighting against too, why else would they be so bent on destroying their own library, their own history, their own archives, kind of like the state archives? I've been to a few state archive buildings in Australia, most notably the Western Australia State Archive and the Federal Archive of Australia in Canberra. Those things look pretty good, but they look nothing like this. This almost looks more like how a library, you expect a library to be. Most people expect that libraries carry books, right? Or archives or something like that. That we're protecting. These must be really valuable if we're willing to sacrifice our lives. But then again, clones are supposed to be disposable people. They're supposed to sacrifice their lives at all costs. And some of them have two freaking lightsabers. These clones really think they stand a chance against a Jedi with two freaking lightsabers. This is why I think Revenge of the Sith is one of the most unrealistic movies ever. It's simply because a bunch of Jedi, a whole large group of people, a whole large ethnic, powerful group of people, are able to get killed just by a few clone troopers and a mentally deranged Jedi named Anakin Skywalker. Come to think of it, it kind of is like a mental illness story kind of thing. I think I now know the answer to what's the most unrealistic Star Wars movie. I established a long time ago that the most realistic Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back. And the more I think of it now, I think the most unrealistic Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith. because of how so much changed. The whole galaxy got like frickin' terraformed or something like that. It was so kind of like terraforming kind of something, but instead it was from a political perspective, because the whole involved a huge major government change. And so the objective is complete. Now I have to get the holocron. I have to capture a holocron now. Get a holocron, because that doesn't really allude to anything that we don't already know about. In another room in the library, another temple room, there's more Jedi are going to be after us. Of course, there's so many Jedi. We're greatly outnumbered. We will need to be like the most powerful clones, like the most... Like, wonder if clone trooper armor... I don't think clone trooper armor... Well, it's clearly not lightsaber proof. Nothing is really lightsaber proof except for those spear things that Grievous's bodyguards have and a few other things in the universe of the Star Wars prequels. So there's that machine that Obi-Wan's gonna find out the truth about Anakin with later on, where Yoda's gonna say a very underrated quote, "Into the archives, into the records you go, Obi-Wan. Only pain you will find." I think that quote's a lot more realistic and a lot more accurate to real life than "do or do not, there is no try." Yeah, that actually is a very the quote from Revenge of the Sith about, only pain you'll find, that actually is a very underrated quote from Yoda. Whenever people talk about Yoda's greatest quotes, they ever talk about that one. That's actually like a real, meaningful quote. Only pain you will find. Pain's the only thing you're gonna find if you go through archives, go through things you shouldn't be looking at. You're only going to learn about the truth, and the truth is never usually good. The truth, this one was truth ever really good. It's never usually good at it. So it says endurance again, so whenever we complete tasks, it always seems to say endurance. Now I get to play as the madman himself, the mentally insane madman himself, Anakin Skywalker. He's gonna go and flail his blue lightsaber around while he goes and kills everything. He puts on that hood to make him look like a stoner emo or something like that. It's like some teenage stoner emo. Why don't I have a spot on the Jedi Council? Why am I not a master? I always wanted to be a master. I'm entitled to be a master. I'm like the Jesus of Star Wars. I deserve everything. Everything needs to be given to me on a silver platter. Yeah, he's such a self-entitled wuss. I think Anakin got his just desserts at the end of Revenge of the Sith. He got exactly what he deserved. He doesn't deserve to die. He deserves to feel pain for what he did. The fact that his girlfriend got killed and he got horribly maimed, I think that's a reasonable enough punishment for what he did. That's actually much better punishment, I think, than execution. They execute people in real life, but they never do like what Obi-Wan did to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. I think that's a much more meaningful punishment, a much more, like a punishment that seems more suited to crimes, especially for mass murderers or mass killers. A lot of them don't even care if they're dead or not, which is why they kill people already. So they're kind of giving them what they want by killing them. If you really wanted to punish them, you would just do what Obi-Wan did to Anakin. That's an ultimate punishment. And of course, not surprisingly enough, this is a victory. Of course, it's going to be a victory. What else this would have been?
Blazing new ships and shiny new armor.
So this is how the Empire was born, and this is how democracy dies, and an arguably much better force that's going to rule the galaxy has just been created. The Empire, and because we're in a new era of history now, we get a new title crawl now. Another storyline a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's sometime later, and look, it's Star Wars again. But this time it's a different version of Star Wars. It's Star Wars where we're the Empire and we rule the galaxy. And a lot of people oppose what we are. Let's see what this story's actually about. Rise of the Empire. Isn't that what this has always been about? Isn't that what it said when I first clicked on it in the main title screen? Rise of the Empire? The old Republic has fallen. I think we already knew that. Emperor Palpatine has created a new galactic empire to rule in its place. Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith, has taken command of the elite division of troopers known as the 501st, now known across the galaxy as Vader's Fist. The 501st strive to establish order in the name of the Galactic Empire. Is that it? Darth Vader just became the leader of the 501st? No, there's more. Once peaceful planet of Naboo, the planet everyone loves, right? The Emperor orders his newly armored stormtroopers to stifle the seeds of the rebellion in a diplomatic manner benefiting the new Empire. Okay, so looks like we're going to Naboo, everyone's favorite planet from Star Wars, Naboo, the planet that's home to the Gungans and those weird guard things that have green laser blasters that could ricochet off walls and stuff like that and make a pew pew sound.
The Empire, the Emperor's home planet of Naboo rapidly established itself as a main for a regime change. A change that would be affected by the 501st, now under the direct command of Darth Vader. Our orders were simple: to infiltrate the city, take out their leader, sending a clear signal to other potential troublemakers in the Empire.
So yes, we're on Naboo. I wonder if this game was made by people that hated Phantom Menace, and this is their way of getting back at Phantom Menace, playing the most original trilogy thing they can think of. Stormtroopers and their horribly inaccurate blasters going against the Naboo Palace guards. That actually sounds like a really awesome battle, and that's what we're in right now. We're going to commit an act of regicide and destroy the Queen once and for all. Yeah, that's right, the Queen of Naboo is going to be a boss. I'm sure everyone wished we could have killed the Queen from Phantom Menace, but she's already dead at this point. So you have to commit regicide against the current queen, but is it really regicide when she's really an elected official, more like a president or someone like that? And we're just the Empire. They even had declared independence from the Republic or the empires that we are now, so we're technically invading them right now. We're going against their... But then again, they don't deserve to exist. Anyone that opposes the Empire doesn't deserve to exist. The Empire needs to rule everything. It's a great... I don't know. Imagine what they would have done if they made it to Earth. Maybe things on Earth would have been better if the Empire found Earth and took it over. That actually sounds like a pretty good storyline. So there's a Naboo guard that just got killed, and everyone's gonna get killed. These blasters they said they got blazing new blasters. They're supposedly superior to the clone blasters we were just using, but these are still horribly inaccurate. They just go like they don't really go straight. They just go like in a curve, swirly line of blast. It's almost useless a lot of the time. Might as well be shooting blanks at these guys a lot of times of how inaccurate our blasters are. People bash stormtroopers a lot for having inaccurate blasters. I guess I know why, but again, inaccurate blasters is a very common thing in a lot of the Star Wars games. Even Star Wars Dark Forces reflected on that back in 1995, about a decade before this game came out. So did the Jedi Knight games, and they always reflect on the fact that stormtrooper blasters are never the most accurate things. So we took a command post, which is what we're always supposed to do. We're always told to capture a specific command post and have to take over another one. But we have to go the long way because the shorter way currently has like a defense grid turned on. There's landmines everywhere. We're gonna step on them and get blown up. So we're forced to take the long way around here, the way that's not infested with mines. So we don't have to play Minesweeper or something like that. We're probably gonna have to play Minesweeper and run away from all of this. I don't even think it's possible to destroy these mines. I don't even think it's possible to destroy mines. The only way you can really destroy mines in this game is if you walk near them and then they blow up next to them. And enemies pretty much always avoid mines. Enemies aren't easily fooled by mines. You can place down mines and it's not going to fool the enemies at all. So endurance, but we didn't complete a task. It just says endurance for the sake of saying endurance. This is a bunch of useless words to make it look like you achieved something impressive, which isn't really much of an impressive achievement at all. We're taking over Naboo, the most weakly defended planet in the entire Star Wars saga. Come on, the Trade Federation had a far inferior army to the Empire, and they were able to conquer Naboo easy. To a point where they just needed Jedi and a bunch of peacemakers to go there and then free the planet. Even then, they kind of struggled a bit at taking over, destroying the Trade Federation. So this should be an easy task for the Empire. The Empire could take over the Trade Federation, or take on the Trade Federation. The Naboo force is single-handedly easy. So of course we're taking the long way again to avoid the security grids. Once we walk through this palace, they really did put a lot of effort into this level. This really does look like how I imagined Naboo would look as we saw, because we mostly saw Naboo in Phantom Menace. We saw a little bit more of it in Attack of the Clones. We saw a little bit of it in Revenge of the Sith when we were at a Padme's funeral at the end. It's gonna take this command post. This command post is clearly under the Naboo control, and now we're gonna claim it for us. Just gonna stand here while all my people die. We're the Empire now. We supposedly rule the galaxy and they still can't afford to send more troops for us. Does the Empire really have enough resources to rule the galaxy? In theory, all these rebels could team up together. They could probably destroy us easy and save the galaxy. Maybe they like the Empire after all. They just want to make it look like they're against it, but really maybe they're not after the Empire at all. And they give us a tank, the same kind of tank we used on Kashyyyk, where the clones used there. And there's their first task. I think we're supposed to, they're supposed to destroy something, I think, or destroy some sort of the grid turret controls. And like, there's the Naboo people. That's a different kind of tank. Those are the Naboo people. We saw a very similar map to this in the first Star Wars Battlefront. In the second level, we're in the Naboo city, and we have to play as the droids and kill the palace guards. In the first game, we did it with Trade Federation droids. Now, in this game, we're doing it with the Empire Imperial Stormtroopers. We're taking over this command post right now. I think someone's gonna steal my tank. Hey, look, someone just got in my tank, and they appear to be on our side, though, because the crosshair was blue, so that means they were on our side, but they stole our tank. We don't have a tank now, so we're weakly defended now. It's like they want us to get killed. The AI is so stupid in this game. We're the only smart people in the entire game. This whole game is driven by the fact that we're the only smart people in the game. Okay, now we have to destroy the grid console now. Now we're just hitting up there a grid console. What do you do with a grid console? I know you can do with a game console. What's a grid console? And how do you get one of those? Well, apparently the people on Naboo have them. Maybe it's a unique Naboo invention, like the Naboo Starfighter, or those other bizarre Naboo ships they had in that game, Star Wars: The Battle for Naboo on the N64. I never found a working ROM of that game to this day, and I never got the PC version to run either. I still haven't found it in any store yet or anywhere like that for an affordable price. I probably will one of these days. I don't even remember last time I bought a new game for the N64. I don't buy much new games anymore thanks to emulation. Just the other day I wanted to buy the original Destruction Derby for the PS1. My mom discouraged me from buying because she says, oh, you already got plenty of physical games, and those systems of yours are going to break down or die eventually, so eventually all you'll have is emulation. So why bother even buying real classic video games anymore? Yeah, that's the logic I use in my NES. My NES is on my do not resuscitate list. Those NES systems are very troublesome. If I buy another one at this point, it's probably going to die for a few years, and the one I have right now is not in very good shape either. So what's the point? Might as well just use my emulators then for NES. NES is a pretty easy system to emulate. So now look at that, they just threw in the Jedi at us. Yes, we have to kill. Apparently these Jedi are rebel leaders or like revolutionaries. Like maybe they're the real George Washingtons of this game after all, and they're trying to run some sort of revolutionary force against the Empire. But we could kill them easy because they're Jedi, and as we all know, the Jedi are complete total nuts. It's not Nightfall, it's Nutfall, so they should have called it Operation Nutfall. But I think there's a neutering clinic already called that the Nutfall or something like that. So now the Queen is out and about, and this is technically a boss we're going after again. Yep, that's right, it's another boss. The Queen of Naboo, she's the current boss. They could have made a Jedi, maybe some Jedi Master survived or something like that. But no, it's the Queen of Naboo, the most threatening boss in the entire game. And now she just got killed. Yeah, we successfully committed regicide, if you could call this regicide. And now Naboo has been taken under our control. This is a great victory for our empire.
With the Queen eliminated, Naboo quickly fell in line. It was the first time the 501st was called upon to adjust a planet's government. But it wouldn't be the last. Within months, the 501st gained a well-deserved reputation as Vader's fist.
Yeah, we already knew we were Vader's fist. So of course we killed 37 and got killed 5 times. Sounds about average. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.